Hi guys, welcome to the Bridge the Gap intro video. My name is Srijal and this here is my partner Meelad. We're both graduates of Robert Thirsk High School. We graduated in the year 2018 and we're currently third year students at the University of Calgary. So I'm in the neuroscience program.
I'm in the political science program.
And this intro video is really to give you guys just a roadmap of what kind of lies ahead in terms of your future. So we know where you guys are coming from. So we can just get right into talking a bit about us and what we came here to offer you guys. So high school for me was a 3-year period of my life that just it goes like an absolute highlight reel. And the reason for that is I really tried to become the human version of the statement, work hard, play hard. And no joke, that's how I went by the 3 years of high school. I tried to be the best student I could be, but I also tried to have as much fun as I possibly could. Whether that meant throwing a party the moment my parents left me home alone for the night, trying to always one up the other team's crowd at any sporting event, especially in basketball. I would always lose my voice by the end of a game. Or it was trying to even like enjoying myself could even mean like just playing Minecraft till 2 a.m. with the guys. Like I just wanted to have as much fun as I possibly could. So throughout my years, I tried to be as involved as I could be as well in terms of academics and sports. I played football, rugby, and I was even the manager of the senior basketball team in grade 12, which let me tell you, by the way, it was an absolute movie. We put up the first senior boys banner in Thirsk history. I don't think it's been done since. Hopefully the achievement does get repeated, but right now we kind of stand alone and I managed that. I was also a peer tutor throughout my years at Thirsk, which honestly really helped me gain some insight into where our current education system kind of fails us and what can be done about it. Academically speaking, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I knew to always aim for the highest possible standard, which, it led me down the AP path and taught me a lot more about life and the value of hard work than I thought it would. Now, I'd always been inclined toward the sciences, but I was also very extroverted and I loved interacting with people. And I always thought I wanted to do something that combined those two aspects. I thought engineering. Well, maybe that's too basic. Then I thought that psychology, but at the time I didn't really think that that was a science. So then one day in grade 11, sitting in my AP bio class with Meelad right here, we started the nervous system unit. We started talking about the brain. And that was my aha moment. The brain, I thought, the control center for our body and what really makes us who we are. Why is it that we know next to nothing about the brain? This question is what guided me in terms of making my choice of going into neuroscience. It's questions like these, certain burning questions that you guys have that we hope you will use to guide yourselves towards what you actually want to do in the future.
Thank you for that, Srijal. I'll go on and tell you guys a little bit about myself and my high school experience. I'll start off by saying high school was definitely another highlight in my life so far. I would describe myself as a floater. I hung around with just about anybody and tried my best to get a hand at everything. I was very involved with the sports teams. I played basketball and rugby all 3 years. And we, like Sergio had mentioned, brought home the only boys banner in our school's history. And it's yet to have been done since. I made memes in my spare time, which garnered a cult following, I might add, in my time in high school. And I was always a decent student. I gave a lot of effort into my studies. And while I was a bit aimless in terms of my disciplinary uh, goals, I always knew that I wanted to get into university at one point. So I know that you guys share that same vision with me of achieving the acclamation of finishing high school and getting to post-secondary. but there are so many options, it can feel overwhelming at times. And I really wish there was someone that was there with me along the way to give me some sort of advice, as well as sympathy in my time of need. I had tried to understand what motivated me most while I was in high school, and I learned that it was the people. I always went into class because I got to see my fellow classmates and my teachers and learn from them, ex- experience new ideas, but also, most importantly, just actually be involved in my community. And that was a major part in me deciding to choose social sciences as my discipline, alongside with my retail job, which forced me to interact with a lot of people, and also aided in me choosing social sciences as my number one choice. Social and English were both my favorite classes when I was in high school. So these gave me a lot more insight to give my own ideas when I talk about my work. And that was what I really valued when it came to my learning. Ultimately, I chose the social sciences, and this wasn't an easy decision by any stretch. It took me a lot of trying, not just academically, but mentally. It's taxing going through the different options you have. But once I settled, um, I knew that there was other students in my position who still hadn't, and it's very difficult for them to do so. So me and Srijal have been friends for nearly a decade, and we have the same goal in mind, but we have very different paths. So he ended up choosing the sciences, I ended up choosing the social sciences, but that one path was the same. We went on the path of lifelong learning. And whether you're motivated by financial security, becoming independent, or making friends, there's really that core concept of lifelong learning that ties it all together. And while you're pursuing this, you're going to learn a multitude of skills that will translate into the real world. And this doesn't start in university, it starts right away in high school.
So yeah, like Milad brings up some really good points. Like we understand that some of you guys may be lost right now and you might not know what you actually want to do. So that is kind of what we're here to help you with. That it's the idea that even if you don't know what you want to do, there are still some skills that you guys can apply. You can start applying them right now if you aren't already, that are just going to help you with life in general. So as with any high school student, we get it. Like, you're doing your best to enjoy everything that's around you. You guys probably all miss going to the games, to all the events, hanging out with your friends, and just really trying to be as social as you can be. But as you guys get older, you guys are in grade 11 at this point, you're also trying to remain as conscious of the future that you guys have ahead of you.
Post-secondary institutions are wonderful places for you to truly develop as a person and learn things that you are genuinely intrigued and curious about. The whole idea of taking control of your learning, and really taking control of your life and its direction, is something that we all hope you guys strive and look forward to. We want you guys to be a part of this lifelong mission of learning, and not something you simply go to school for. Through this excitement, though, we are sure you guys, just like we did, have endless questions that need answering. Questions such as where you are going on this journey, how exactly you can achieve your goals, how do you make goals to begin with, and how do you improve your chances of succeeding at life and in university.
So there's a monologue incoming, so just bear with me here. Our plan for helping you all in this regard goes a little like this. So this introductory video describes to you some universal skills that are needed not only for post-secondary success, but for success in life in general. So these include skills such as active listening, making friends and connections, and staying disciplined. After you guys have watched this introductory video, though, we have made discipline specific videos that we feel are that we feel encompass the interests of most of you when we think of what you might want to do after high school. So we've identified 5 areas. So these 5 areas are the sciences, social sciences, business, engineering, and the area dealing with health and the human body. Now, we also understand that there are students who do eventually want to go to school, but not right away. They want to take a path less traveled. And we've thought about you guys as well and included a specific 6th workshop that is designed just for you. This is led by 2 individuals who have both taken a year off after high school in an effort to discover their interests and what motivates them specifically.
We know that this is a big step for you guys to take in your life. So we've chosen to extend all these options in an effort to give you some kind of guidance that we wish ourselves had at your age. Because with this multitude of disciplinary practices and academic studies, you guys can actually engage with people who are involved in the process right now. And while we're on the topic of university, we want you to guys to understand that the most large application of what you're learning is going to apply in everyday life. You want to further your education in ways beyond the classroom. Think, for example, the novel coronavirus. While it exploded as a medical issue, it impacts the world of health, medicine, political relationships, the nation more broadly, society, and everything as we know it. This is how you want to approach school. This is how you want to make connections.
So, connections in life are everything. You get to meet people throughout school, work, and your extracurriculars that are going to be vital to you in ways that you may never imagine. Meelad and I, even being able to do Bridge the Gap, was only made possible by our connections to Robert Thirsk High School, specifically with the teachers and the staff of the school. This concept of connections is already something that has been embedded in you guys throughout your life. And believe me, it's going to become even more important once you graduate. A question I want you guys to ask yourselves is to think about one connection that you've made in your life that has led to success, whether it be getting in contact with a hockey coach, finding tutors, or landing a sweet job from your family friends. And as you go further, the impact of these connections becomes greater and greater. In university, frankly, the connections could be the difference between passing and failing a class. Think about it. You get to meet people from all over the city, all over the country, and even all over the world. And being able to share notes with them, getting advice, and speaking to friends who have taken similar classes will help relieve a lot of the stress that you're inevitably going to encounter if you decide to go down the post-secondary journey. Your professors and TAs are also a massive part of university, and you might find that if you build a proper relationship with them, they'll be the ones helping you further your career. These network opportunities extend beyond university because now, more so than ever, job opportunities are directly related to your connections and the people that you know. Now, networking is something you guys have been doing all your life. It's how you know the people you know, it's how you have the friends that you have, and it's how you've built your support system. It's not anything new. It really isn't. We just want you guys to keep this in mind as you continue to meet new people and find things that interest you. Just keep an open mind about people. You never know the kind of relationship you'll be able to have with them.
Thank you for that. I'm going to segue talking about connections and building relationships into another key aspect of building those bridges, and that is active listening. So, what do I mean when I say active listening? Well, active listening is above all the ability to interpret information and begin to think of not only your classes as a thing to learn from, but think of them in a everyday life conversation. Any interaction you've had with someone is meant to further a dialogue, whatever the context may be. Think of those late night conversations you've had with your friend till 2 a.m. about his or her crush or problems or whatever's keeping them up till 2. You're constantly exchanging information in this scenario. You're essentially hearing out a problem, reading into their mind, and trying to develop a solution. This is the same kind of conversation you're going to be having in university. Active listening in class means to think of your lectures as your professor or teacher talking to you and having a conversation rather than just speaking directly at you. So, this will allow you to remain much more engaged in your studies and will also have you ask more important and relevant questions inside the classroom. So, when I say that, I mean these questions are ones that are going to be giving more breadth and depth to your understanding. So if you're in a class talking about, say, the geopolitical situation of Chile, you're going to be asking questions that are related to that situation, such as like, why did um, Manuel Barrera undertake this responsibility? Why was he motivated to do that? If you're asking these kinds of questions, you're gaining more out of your learning. Uh, Now, don't be afraid to ask your professors these questions. I know it seems scary. These professors are, like the highest individuals in society in terms of academic research, but it's not something to be scared of. If anything, professors love when you bring a proper question to them. Obviously, don't bother them during office, or feel free to approach them during office hours or over email, but be considerate of their time. Uh, this brings me to our second point, which is how you apply this strategy to class. While in post-secondary, you guys will go through a major lifestyle change, the lines between school and your personal life are going to become more and more blurred as you realize that you're truly becoming and encapsulating a student. That student discount you get, there's a reason you get that. Um, when you go and apply for a government application, there's a reason there's a student checkbox for you to apply for. Um, this is because you're really about to embody that lifestyle. Not only will you be able to apply successful learning strategies within the classroom, but also outside of it. These strategies include making connections between your classes, making sure that you have a good support system around you, your friends, obviously, and of course, actively listening to ensure a rigid understanding of your curriculum. Finally, we'll talk about having the ability to make a schedule when necessary.
So, one of the biggest challenges that both of us personally faced was building a schedule outside of school. The reason for that is that this was something that neither of us had experienced. Both of us kind of, we had our schedules built for us. We were always given a timetable. You're supposed to be at school by 8:30, 9 o'clock. You're supposed to go to this class, lunch is at this time, and then you go to this class. And if you have like a practice after school or something, everything was scheduled out for you. Now, university, it isn't like that. For the large part of it, you get to choose your own schedule, and no one's stopping you from having lunch whenever you want. There's no scheduled time for it. But this doesn't mean that every aspect of your life has to revolve around the timeline. It's more so about discipline more than anything. It's having the ability to look a few weeks ahead and know that, yes, you may have a week to do a particular assignment, but within that week, there are also other pressing things. So it would probably be best to get that assignment done tonight rather than wait. And honestly, I won't lie to you guys. There will be times where you need to schedule quite a bit. You'll just have too much going, and keeping track of everything will become difficult. I mean, yeah, I'm in school from 9 to 3. Yeah, I got to work on this and that, but you're going to have to keep at it and understand that you have labs, assignments, papers, exams, and quizzes, all of which that you have to prepare for. So I just want to say a quick note on exams. Yes, they can be rough, and there is the potential of having multiple exams over a very, very short period of time. But again, it is what it is. It's the discipline to keep up with content and readings. That's what's going to keep your head above water. And it's what's going to lead to your success, honestly. Even outside of school, though, this idea of discipline becomes very important. Once you guys graduate, that's it. You all are adults now. You are responsible for you. And to ensure success for yourself, staying disciplined and focused on your goals will make sure that you're on a good path. It's really about a lack of procrastination. That, more than anything, will keep you from feeling overwhelmed.
I know how frightening this might all sound to you guys, especially when you're thinking about your own future, but it's easy to bury yourself in what is going on in your life currently. And I want you guys to stress about this, not worry, but be actively trying to work towards a goal when it comes to your post-secondary studies. As much as I hate to say it, the real world is grueling and nobody has the responsibility over you other than yourself. These things sound magical as a teenager, you know, freedom, finally being able to have control over your life and a say in what you do. But believe me, you'll miss this time. And I really hope that you guys cherish it while you can. We hope that this program will help you guys make this next transition into university a smooth sailing one, and one that will guarantee you the best high school experience followed by an even better post-secondary experience. Thank you guys so much for your time. You've been a great group of kids, and I really hope that you guys will continue to look into the disciplines that we posted later, and which will cover each and every single uh, uh, topic that we mentioned earlier. So again, thank you guys.